The pressure you feel right now is the specific heat required for your evolution. You are currently in the middle of a process that demands this exact level of intensity to produce the man you are supposed to become. Modern culture rewards the avoidance of friction. We are conditioned from birth to minimize risk, seek out the most padded environments, and treat every minor stressor as a threat to be managed or eliminated. This obsession with safety has a high biological price. When a man removes all tension from his life, he becomes fragile. His bones soften, his resolve thins, and his nervous system miscalibrates. Eventually, even a minor dip in a stock portfolio or a single tense conversation can cause a total psychological collapse. A perfectly safe, frictionless environment causes the human spirit to atrophy. It creates a state of internal decay that leaves a man hollow, robbing him of the very drive he needs to survive a real crisis. When you feel overwhelmed, it's rarely because you lack the strength to endure. It's because you've been trapped in a system that starves you of the necessary struggle required to keep your edges sharp. The scholar Nassim Taleb developed a framework to explain why some systems thrive under pressure while others crumble. We can visualize this through 3 different responses to stress. The fragile state simply breaks. The state most men aim for is robust, the middle line. This is the immovable rock that withstands the wind but never changes. In a volatile world, being a rock just means waiting for a hammer large enough to crack you. Then there is antifragility, this exponential upward curve. Think of a fire. A fire doesn't just survive the wind, it uses the wind as oxygen to grow larger and hotter. For the antifragile, the presence of disorder is a requirement for growth. Applying this logic changes how you view a crisis. An antifragile man uses the shock of a job loss to finally launch the venture he's been sketching for years. He takes the raw solitude of a breakup and uses it as the laboratory to reconstruct his character from the ground up. True resilience requires you to abandon the goal of being a stubborn, immovable stone. You must become a volatile force that actively needs chaos to expand. Biology offers a specific name for this growth through struggle: hormesis. It is the natural phenomenon where a small, controlled dose of a stressor triggers a response that makes the organism significantly more capable. Your body relies on this mechanism to function. Human bone requires the literal weight of gravity and tension to maintain density. Muscles require microscopic tears under heavy loads to signal the body to fuse those fibers back together thicker and more durable than before. You can trigger this response through daily, voluntary choices. Step into a freezing cold shower to train your nervous system to stay calm under shock. Lift heavy steel to remind your skeleton of its capacity. Initiate the difficult conversation today to prevent the rot of silence later. View these microstresses as essential vitamins for the soul. They act as a biological inoculation, preparing your mind to remain steady when a massive, unexpected life storm eventually arrives. Self-improvement isn't a search for a state of rest. It is the deliberate, daily application of tension used to forge a more resilient physical and mental architecture. Nature provides every man with a second wind. It is a biological certainty that a period of intense depletion is followed by a surge of new energy, provided you have the foundation to catch it. The sensation of being completely broken is actually the most fertile state for evolution. When the old structures of your life fall away, you are finally open enough to build something that actually fits the man you are becoming. Construction at a massive scale requires demolition first. You cannot build a skyscraper on the foundation of a shed. Sometimes life has to clear the site all the way down to the bedrock before you can start on a structure that actually reaches the clouds. The scars you carry are the visible evidence of this architectural shift. They aren't signs of damage. They are the reinforcements where your character had to grow thicker to support the weight of your new life. Rock bottom provides the only surface solid enough to support a structure of this scale. The destruction of your old self is the necessary clearing of ground for your greatest era of construction. But this biological capacity for stress is useless if it's aimless. To channel this energy, an anti-fragile soul requires a mission, a why that focuses your newfound resilience toward a target larger than your own comfort. When you have a mission, the volatility of the world becomes fuel. Criticism, setbacks, and daily chaos are no longer obstacles. They are the raw materials you consume to drive your engine forward. This is where the perspective shifts permanently. You stop asking, "What is this happening to me?" and you start asking, "How can I use this to complete the mission?" The world is chaotic, but you are the anchor. Go out there and gain from the fire. Stay grounded, stay a man, stay resilient. You realize your ultimate power the moment the world stops being a threat and starts being a laboratory for your continuous evolution.